Welcome to today's fast track episode of The Growth Zone. My name is Christian Bartsch, and these episodes provide you with a focused, mind-feeding topic. You can use it to have some new ideas to guide you through the day. Let's get started on today's topic. So in today's episode, we are going to be talking about speeding cameras. You know, those cameras that are often hidden or clearly visible on the road, held by police and other kind of people who are trying to tax you. So speeding cameras, they're supposed to get us all to stop driving far too fast. Yes, sometimes you can be taken away, and sometimes there's people who always drive far too fast and they don't care about anybody else. So the thing is, what is the difference between speeding cameras that charge you a lot of money and a system that actually educates you not to speed? So that's a thing where you'd say, okay, then why don't we have that? Let's be quite frank and direct. Governments don't like you to be educated. They want you to pay the fines. Why? Yeah, you drive 5 kilometers, 5 miles too fast. You pay maybe $20 or $100, 10 euros, 50 euros, 60 euros, 50 pounds, and you get annoyed. You get really annoyed. And you think, I wasn't paying attention. But the next time that happens, and you think, wait a minute, I wasn't driving that fast, then you get really, really annoyed. And then, of course, there are other kind of people who are making money on that too. It's the lawyers. The lawyers who then go and represent you in court so that you avoid paying those fines. And especially as well getting you off the hook, because as you speed too often, you get points on your driving license, and eventually they take your license away. That's a way how the government can punish you whilst charging you even a hidden kind of tax. So why isn't the money being put actually into road safety? Why are they not actually feeding the money into ways that they can protect schools, children, and so on the way home safer? People are asking as well questions, and they say, why aren't these speeding cameras then even being put where the schools are? Instead, they're putting them in places where people don't really drive fast, there's not much traffic. And you think, why? Yeah, of course, because people are not expecting it there, and they may be driving 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers too fast, but it doesn't really make a big difference at that speed, and then they get to fine people quite a nice amount of money. So it's like everybody passing by and having to put money into a box, and the money eventually goes to the government. That's not a very nice way of doing it. When you think of it, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, there used to be these people who used to charge you money if you wanted to cross a bridge with your cart, but they weren't just charging money for you to cross the bridge. They were actually charging you money even to enter the other side. So you're being double taxed, which is really quite a nasty way of making middle-aged tariff system. And what do we have now? We have road tax. We pay speeding fines. We pay parking fines. And we even have police going around and fining people if they have missed their MOT date by a week or 2 or months. And especially when you think of it, now it's really interesting. They're walking around now as they put people into lockdown, and then they're fining them. They're going around, they've got now the time, and they can go and fine all sorts of people who are leaving their cars at home, that are not doing anything. They're staying at home, doing their work from home, and trying to protect everybody else so that nobody gets sick. But instead, the government goes and sends out people to collect hidden taxes. And you think, wait a minute, why is this happening? Doesn't make any sense. We're supposed to be staying at home. We're supposed to be staying indoors. And then you get an extra fine because, of course, you didn't go outdoors to check your car and you saw that you've got a fine and you didn't pay it in advance. So you get an extra fine. And eventually you say, why is the government actually taxing us so inadequately? The thing is, they want to make money to spend it on stupid stuff. They're not actually spending it where it should be. And just look at it. They are not really spending the money on the hospitals, on the doctors, on the nurses. Instead of they're spending on it on large corporations that have a powerful lobbying, and they're spending a lot of money on people who actually don't need it, who are not really in need. And whilst companies are going bust and other places, people are getting annoyed because they are not able to get the health services that they really need. The government is smiling because they've got you exactly where they want you. And all these, conspiracy theorists, they're adding fuel on them and they're telling a lot of junk. And that's the thing. They're just wasting the energy of people and getting people aggravated, so we get even more people infected with all this virus stuff. So that the virus can be even over-exaggerated beyond what it is really. And that's the thing. We have a time of difficulty, economic instability coming above. And of course, people are underestimating what the viruses can do. And they're overestimating as well what the viruses can do. So we have a bidirectional activities where people are doing some kind of different activities that they have on their agenda. And we're all sitting in the middle, trying to somehow figure out how to continue with our lives without having our kids or ourselves going nuts. And thinking of that, so we were talking about speeding cameras. So even when you are able to leave your home and drive, whether you're visiting your relatives, you're trying to help your old parents or so with something, or a friend of yours who maybe can't help himself and he can't go to a pharmacist or get food, so you go and do the groceries for him, then you get a fine somewhere. Then you notice, so it's helping your community being used to punish you. That's not a good way of doing it. So you have to really think, what would be the alternative? Well, we'll do the e-commerce. Exactly. So you order everything from Amazon, and then the government comes and says, yes, we want to tax e-commerce. Wow. So every little bookshop who's now unable to sell books because they're supposed to be closed, they're trying to sell a few books online over Amazon or their website. They stick labels on the windows, shop windows and so on. They'll have to pay tax as well. And with the meager returns that they're generating, even that is going to be overtaxed, overcomplicated, and they have to pay extra money to tax advisors so that they at least get somehow off the hook and not being accused of any kind of violations of taxes and other kind of stuff. So it's actually letting people have less and less space to breathe. And that's exactly where we should really look at speeding cameras. Is that really appropriate where they're being set up? Or is it just a place where they have their opportunity to catch a lot of people because they are unaware, they're maybe distracted? But it's not a place where usually you have accidents and so on. Speed cameras should be where there's a high risk of accidents. People are being really careless, and then you can gradually educate them. But there's as well a different theory that I'm going to be talking later on about. It's about the punishment and reward theory. It's a reward theory that is not only been developed by Russian scientists, American scientists, British, German scientists, and so on. There's a lot of different philosophies about what actually motivates the human to improve and to be a better human than they used to be. We see it with rewards. Nowadays we have things like gamification where we motivate people to do certain things or show certain kind of habits. The same thing, if you are surfing all day in Facebook, then ask yourself why you are actually doing that instead of actually reading a book. For instance, myself, I've gone today, I think, into Facebook for maybe 10 minutes, just checked something, put a question to some friends, and then went out again. I've been doing my business all the day. I've been reading books. I'm reading a really 600-page thick book. So I need time, of course, to read. I'm taking time with my family. And I'm not sitting in Facebook. Why are you watching Facebook all the time? You might say, oh, no, I'm doing Instagram. Yes. Or you're all the time in WhatsApp and other kind of stuff. WhatsApp. That's where you definitely shouldn't be. You shouldn't be sharing your secret information on WhatsApp. You might not be aware that I think 7 states in the United States are accusing or suing Google, and I think partly as well Facebook, or both, vice versa, whatever, for accessing or sharing all the messages that we post to each other on WhatsApp. And you think, wait a minute, didn't WhatsApp introduce encryption, full encryption, and all this kind of stuff? Why do they bother doing that? If Google is anyway getting all our messages unencrypted into their database, and they're using that for whatever? Just think of it. If they are able to access that kind of data, who else is accessing your data to your disadvantage? Big Brother? I don't know. You can call it whatever it is. But I would say definitely it's made me think twice whether I really want to use these apps. You might say, yeah, you can go and use Telegram. Yeah, Telegram is in certain ways nicer, but they're as well open. They have as well certain kind of deals. Threema, the same thing, you can forget. Signal, you can forget. All these different Line, WeChat, and so on. Facebook. So you can actually really forget all these different kind of apps that exist because they're not really going to give you any kind of privacy. And the same thing with the speeding cameras. Yeah, the speeding cameras generate data. They know where you're driving. Even if you are not speeding, they know where you're driving. They generate data. They can record data. They can even, some of these cameras are even illegally registering your vehicle information, even 200 meters to 300 meters further on, even although they are in most cases, in most government and jurisdiction areas, only allowed to be measuring up to 70 meters in that. So actually it shows that all these different systems are not quite playing the game the way they should. And in some cases, maybe the government is using it as well to their own advantage. Well, may it be or may not be, but definitely I do not like speeding cameras if they are being used against the society, if they are being misused to generate hidden tax and not being used where they should be used to increase road safety. I'll be talking in the next episodes about other aspects of these things, and I'll let you know as well what new technology is being to develop that can maybe help you turn the game around and stop speeding cameras taxing you. I hope you enjoyed the fast track edition of today. I would like to invite you to follow our show so that you don't miss the upcoming interviews with leaders in the market. Simply visit the website follow.prmediareach.com. I will be adding the link also to the description of this episode so that you just need to click on that link. The link is follow.prmediareach.com. follow.prmediareach.com. prmediareach.com. You can follow me also on Twitter by using the Twitter handle CAPBarch. So it's spelled CAPBARTSCH. Or for those who are into sailing and flying, Charlie Alpha Papa Bravo Alpha Romeo Tango Sierra Charlie Hotel. Yes, that's CAP Barge. See you soon or hear you soon in the next episode. And please share as well this episode if you've enjoyed it and would like to let others have the opportunity to use it as well to get new ideas and insights.